guys, good morning. Happy Sunday. Almost at the end of July. I've missed you all, haven't seen you for a week or so. Been super busy. I'm going to show you today how to use the Lucite leaf bundles that we've got. So we've got leaves and flowers in Lucite. Now they are acrylic. You get a lovely sound from them actually making charm jewellery with these. I'm going to show you how to make a charm bracelet today, and I'm also going to be using some of our fabulous glass bead bundles that I had on TV this week as well. So I'm going to show you how to add them on with the beads, but we're also going to make a chainmail base as well. Good morning, Maxine. Hi, Lucy, Jan, Debbie. Good morning, everyone. Oh, Maxine says, how's your floor? Yeah, I tried to have a week off. It didn't work. I had lots of shows and lots of samples to make while we were having the floor fitted, but it's all good. If I can spin it around afterwards, I'll give you a little look. But yes, all of downstairs is now done. My study is rebuilt and a little bit redesigned as well, so that's fun. Good morning, Camille. She says, missed you. Oh, lovely, thank you. Missed you all too. Good morning, Leslie, from a damp but sunny Hertfordshire. Yes, we are here in Lincolnshire as well. Rained all night, had a mega thunderstorm last night. But the sun is shining this morning, so it's beautiful. Good morning, Francis. Hi, Brenda. Morning, Anne. Morning, Mum. I'll give you a FaceTime after this. Good morning, Joe. Hi, Alison, Teresa, Mina, lots of you. Okay, so yes, I'm going to show you a chainmail base first of all, and then we're going to start adding a bit of dimension onto it. So I know we've done quite a bit of chainmail over the last few weeks, and months really, quite a bit of chainmail, and now I'm going to show you how to add a bit of dimension onto it as well. So we'll make a little simple 2-on-2 chainmail bracelet underneath, and then we'll start adding some embellishments. Now we've got some amazing bundles and offers for you today. I'll go through it first of all in case you want to pop onto the website. The link is in the description of the video. These beads are absolutely amazing. You're going to get your 30 strands. They're 6mm glass beads. Some of the colours in here are just beautiful. Look at these. And I'm going to start adding them in with the Lucite flowers and leaves. So lots to show you. I'm just thinking actually, I've randomly just picked those colours up, but I think they look beautiful. Should we add a bit of a darker one in there as well maybe? This is the issue when you have so many to choose from. They look absolutely gorgeous. Let's go for these ones today. So we have amazing bundles. Now these are normally over £30. They're down to £25 for you today. And the Lucite leaves and bundles, we've got 3 different sizes of leaves. I'll show you in all the same colour in case you want to mix and match them up. I'll just move you over a little bit so you can see the actual leaves themselves. So you've got the beautiful flowers. They're sort of dome shaped, little caps almost. You could put gorgeous little beads in them. Some of the samples that Kitty has made that we had on TV this week, you can see that inside the flowers you can actually add some little beads so that they act as a lovely little charm on your bracelets and necklaces. They make really gorgeous earrings as well. Oh yes, Kitty will be in the background. Morning, Kitty. She'll be answering any of your questions as well. So there's 3 different sizes. They're down to £5 a pack for 30 grams. Now that doesn't sound like a lot, but because they are acrylic, they weigh absolutely nothing. So the bundles that you're going to be getting will be absolutely full, which is really nice. So I'm actually going to just pick a few of the colours to mix and match with our bracelet this morning. And we'll get on, let's add some of these. Look, these colours are going to look beautiful together. So we're going to add our beads using head pins. I'm going to use the leaves. I'll pick, does that one go in there? Oh yeah, that's nice. I'm going to add on the leaves with some of our jump rings. Let's just take a little mixture of some of these. Lucite is a fantastic way of adding some dimension into your makes. So for something like your charm bracelets, it's going to give you some movement, that sound of course as well, and it's going to give you some lovely texture and colour. So it's a nice way of introducing them very, very simply. I'm going to go for a mix of my colours today. I'm going to go for gold and silver because I want you to be able to see the jump rings that I'm adding on. So I'm using my 8mm, just they are probably a little bit bigger than I would normally use for a bracelet like this, but for the purpose of the video I really want you to be able to see. And I'm also going to be using head pins. Now in the little section on the website, so our Facebook tutorial section, Kitty and Simon have added in the lucite leaves in the 2 different sizes and your flowers. They've also added in the jump rings and head and eye pins, as well as your gorgeous beads. Maxine saying, morning Kitty, what happened to your mega lie-in? Maybe she's still watching from bed. Perhaps. I know I very often do that when I don't have to do the videos and I'm just answering questions for Kitty. Sometimes I've got it all on the iPad while I'm in bed having a coffee, so hopefully Kitty has the same setup this morning. Okay, so chainmail, let's start with a bit of this. I'm going to be using a pair of pliers. I've got my flat nose pliers. I'm just going to hold these jump rings on the side, holding vertically my round nose pliers, so I'm not putting any stress on those rings, and then I'm twisting open. So I'm just going to do this with a few of my gold ones. My silver ones, I'm not even going to open. So when you're doing a 2-on-2 link, you can very simply start creating your chain without opening all of your jump rings. You don't have to be holding all of them. Now I am right-handed, so I'm taking my right hand up when I am twisting these, so lift with your dominant hand. So obviously if you're left, you'll do this in reverse, because that way when they are on your mat, you are going to be able to pick them up very, very easily. Oh, Kitty says she just got out the shower, sitting on the bed and with a coffee. Lovely. Enjoy your morning off. Kitty had a really busy week, obviously. I was at the studios and I didn't have a downstairs last week. We were having the floor done, so I didn't have my study. Lovely Kitty did a whole week's worth of videos. So you've got me now until Tuesday. Actually, I think you might even have me until Wednesday, because then Thursday onwards, for about the next 2 weeks, I've got shows nearly every day. So August is mega, mega busy. Kitty and I will sort out what we're doing. I've got my little list of what I'm going to be making for you over the next few days. We've got a bit of macrame, we've got some seed beads, we've got some of our lovely geometric rings. I'm going to be using some turquoise stones. So we've got some lovely makes coming up. Okay, I'm just going to cut off some of these beads. They look like little berries, don't they? Thought that would be nice for now. And I'm going to add in a little introduction of green as well, so that the colour can continue through all of it. And we'll sit those aside. We'll turn loops with those in a minute. Okay. And Marion says, are the floors done now? Yes, downstairs is all done. We had all of the flooring done in preparation for our kitchen coming in a couple of weeks. And while the living room was empty, so we actually had to empty all of downstairs. So all those built-in cupboards that I've got in the study, they were all sort of, you know, fixed to the wall. I think you've probably seen it when I've done my little sneak video of what's in my craft room. We had to take all of that out, all of the kitchen, the living room. So while the living room was empty, my husband said, why don't we just decorate it while it's empty? So that was, I think we were up until about midnight. I was wallpapering, he was painting. That was a few days ago. So yeah, it's been a busy old week. And then I was hoping to have a week off from work, but it just didn't end up that way. So I've managed to fit it all in, but we are back to normal now, which is lovely. I'll share a picture of the study when it's done, when I've done on the video, so that you can all see. Okay, so chainmail, we're going to just make a really simple 2-on-2 link bracelet. You've seen me do it lots of times before. I'm just making sure that I've got my closed jump rings. Some of them come perfectly closed from the bag. Sometimes they just need that little squeeze on the link. Camille says, oh, to be young and fit. I don't really feel it, Camille. Not after the few months that we've had. I said to John the other day, it worries me how tired I am, and I don't think I can get a proper night's sleep until September. So I might not be young and fit by the end of the year, that's for sure. Okay, so Let's go. Right, picking up my open jump ring, I'm going to add on 4 of my clothes, and this is why I'm doing a multicoloured one, so that you can just see where they all end up sitting. So I'm taking a gold one. I'm going to be able to squeeze that shut just like we opened it, twisting those all together. Picking up 4 of my closed silver ones, I'm now going to take an open gold one. And you can see how easy it is for me to pick up whilst holding my work. So I've transferred it to my left hand, picking it up because I'm right-handed, and I twist it open with those rights, which means they sit on the mat perfectly. If I now add my closed gold one, I'm going to twist that shut. And when I separate these, hold it with my round nose pliers so you can see, I will have 3 links of my 2-on-2 link chainmail. So 2-on-2 referring to every link in my chainmail consists of 2 jump rings. So that's 2-on-2. You can get 3-on-3, you can even get 4-on-4. So the bigger the jump ring, obviously, the easier that's going to be. And now I'll just continue that pattern in exactly the same way. So I'm going to take an open gold jump ring. I'm going to add on 2 of my closed silver ones straight from my mat, but I'm going to take 2 of my closed silver ones from my section that I've already made. Then I'm going to close it. So it's exactly the same concept. 1 open, 4 closed. And then I'm going to take one of my open gold ones and go through those 4 again. So you can see that it's going to grow quite quickly, because every time I'm only adding on 2 actually open jump rings, but I'm adding 3 sets of my link with each go. So again, straight through the middle, each time just transferring and switching those hands from left to right so that I can constantly hold my work. So 2 closed ones from my section that we are growing, 2 closed ones from the mats. So I'm only working with my gold jump rings. I don't need to touch the silver at all. They can stay closed. And you can see just within the space of a few minutes, you can actually grow quite a length of chain very easily. Okay, and we'll start adding on some of our charms in a moment. I'm a lefty too. Hold the ring. Oh, is someone asking about the jump ring opening ring? It sounds like you might be. Yeah, they are really good for opening. You just need to get the right sort of position. I always sit with it on my thumb, so I'll be holding my jump rings in my dominant hand, and the ring would be on your other hand. So for me, it's on my left. Okay, I'm just going to use the rest of these, and then we'll start adding on some of our charms. When it comes to adding on your charms, I'm just going to add my leaves with my jump rings, which is why I thought I would do a chainmail base for you, because it will get you used to working with them. And the leaves will go really beautifully onto this little charm bracelet. Let's actually add a little bit more, because my leaves are quite big, so we're going to fill this up quite quickly. And we've got time. We might as well stay and have a nice little lazy Sunday morning, eh? So I'm going to open up a few more. You can see how quickly your chainmail grows when you're doing it like this. And of course the mixed metal gives it a really nice modern look. You can add your leaves and your flowers and your beads on with your mixed metals as well. That'll be really lovely. This is also a really nice way of making extension chains for your bracelets. So if you are gifting or selling your pieces, by adding on extension chains, you can actually then make it one size fits all. So you can kind of gift and sell with confidence that it's going to fit as well. And I think these little charms that we're going to add on are so perfect for spring and summer. Now, the colours that we actually do in the packs, there's green, there's clear, there's sort of a very deep maroon, a few different shades of your purple. That's going to give you a really lovely spring summer look with the lighter colours, but we've also got a frosted grey in there. They're all frosted, but you can see I would probably split these down. You've got some really beautiful autumnal colours and winter as well. If you added in some red berries, which is what I was thinking of doing initially, if you added in a red berry with the green leaves, you could make some beautiful little crafting projects. I think they'd be gorgeous sort of tree decorations for Christmas as well. they would look really lovely. Okay, so open jump rings. I'm just going to make sure I've got a few closed ones. Just make sure that your silver ones, in this case, are perfectly closed. This is how they're coming out of the bag. It's still not, it's not bad at all. I've got a few too many things in the background now, it won't focus in. They just have a slight open link. Just make sure that you can feel them rub together and you've got it closed. With your jump rings, it's always a good idea to sort of overextend it. So where the edges meet, a lot of the time you can have them slightly off. You want to make sure that you can almost take it past it because they spring back a little bit. So it might be closed in your hand, but then it comes apart. Just overdo it and it will spring back into place. Margaret says, I bought these a while ago, disappointed as they were nearly all a muddy brown. Well, it couldn't have been this bundle. Are you referring to the Lucite Leaves rather than the jump rings, I'm guessing? We've got a really lovely colour mix within here. I don't know, maybe bought a different colour mix. They are all frosted, but I certainly wouldn't say that they are muddy. If you had like a dusty pack, perhaps, I don't know. They are acrylic, so you can of course wash them if needs be. But sorry to hear that, but these ones are definitely not muddy in colour. You're going to get some beautiful colours and you'll start seeing those as I add them in as well. Okay, so we're going to close off these. I'm just going to add a few more in so that we can extend that chain. When it comes to adding on your clasp at the end, we're just going to use a jump ring as well. Did anybody else catch the show on Wednesday? I had a create and craft. Oh, we've got a birthday. Oh, looks like it's Linda's birthday. Happy birthday, Linda. Hope you are having a lovely day celebrating. Very privileged just spending your birthday morning with me. Happy birthday. I can see you're getting a lot of birthday love, which is nice. Let me know if you've got any plans. Did you get any nice beading things for your birthday? Hopefully you've got some nice prezzies you can start playing with. Okay, 2 more jump rings on here and then we'll leave this and we'll start adding on our leaves. Let's pop these on. Last ones. And as you can see, within the space of just a few minutes, you can create a lovely chain. So I'm probably about 3/4 of the way there. It sits really beautifully. And now we're going to start adding on some of our charms. Okay, so beads, I'm going to add them on with my head pins. So a head pin has that flush bottom. So when you're adding charms, beads on as charms, you want to be using your flat pins. So they are going to give you that flush finish. Brenda's asking why the show's only 45 minutes as they used to be an hour. So yeah, they changed to 45 minutes because they actually had so many new suppliers coming to the channel. We just didn't have enough hours in the day to fit everybody in. So by changing and just losing those 15 minutes on a show, they actually gained an extra 7 live hours a day. So although you only get 45 minutes, there's so much more variety on the channel throughout the day. Because you've got seven extra live hours, and we found that it just condensed it down really. So yeah, it's a shame. It does fly by so quickly when you are doing the shows. 45 minutes. You wouldn't think 15 minutes would make much of a difference. But it does. And it's also why Kitty and I decided to do these Facebook Lives, because it means that you can come on here and actually see full demonstrations too. Because of course down to 45 minutes at the end of the day it is selly telly, so you know we can't just sit there and make as much as we would love to. We can't just sit there and make the project, so a lot of the time of course it's more product focused, whereas when you come here to our Facebook Lives we sit and make them in the entirety, or we'll be able to get you to at least see more than we can on telly, which is nice. I wish that Create and Craft had more than 45 minutes a week dedicated to jewellery making. Yeah, again, that's why we thought we'd do this. It is predominantly a paper craft channel. So to be honest, we are super lucky to be even having the hours that we do. When Kitty starts doing the USBs, of course, they are classed as bigger promotions. So we'll get some more hours in there as well. which will be good. Okay, so I've cut down my head pins just a centimetre. So you will see I was bending them to 45 degrees. I was chatting away while I was doing it, so I wasn't even telling you what I was doing. Taking my head pin, adding on my bead, bending it to 45 degrees, and then cutting and leaving a centimetre. Kitty has a fantastic top tip. If you take a 10mm bead and add that onto your pin, that will give you exactly a centimetre. So then you will have the exact space for your loop. So bend it, add on your bead, or rather add on your bead, then bend it, because you don't want a gap in between the two. Cut and leave your centimetre. Now all the extra bits that you keep, you can obviously use afterwards. My nail is on the tip of the bead, pin facing up to the ceiling, and then our round nose pliers. Oh, Dee's saying, agree with you, much better on here. Yeah, this way we can actually just continuously demonstrate for you. We can still offer you fantastic beals. That's a mixture between beads and deals. We can still offer you amazing deals and bundles. So, of course, you can still actually get your supplies, but, of course, we can show you a bit more demonstration, which is nice. So I'm going to make sure that your pin is facing flush to the top of your plier. That's going to make sure that you'll get the most round loop possible and the neatest finish. And then we're just going to roll that wire. So I'm holding my thumb as a stopper. Excuse the chipped nail, that happened this morning and I just didn't have time to paint it before I came to you. And then I'm just going to use my pliers to mould that pin around, and you'll see that that will give me a perfect loop. Pop that in and just make sure that the two are closed up. So again, pin facing up to the ceiling, small little movements, wrapping these around. I've got one of my dodgy bags of pins here today as well. So some of this coating is coming off. This is what I get for grabbing very quickly from an extra stash. I haven't got my good head pins. But you can see that you are going to get a perfect loop every single time, and we can attach these onto our chains. Let me know if anyone has any chainmail questions, any loop turning questions, and of course I will hopefully answer those. I think Kitty is aiming to do a little beading 101, so a sort of question time next week at some point. I don't think she's quite added in what day it will be yet. I think she was thinking about doing it on Friday. So if you have any techniques that you would like to have covered, send us in a message. You can do it either on this video. These beads are 6mm, Mina. They are our new bundle of glass beads that we have on offer on the website. 30 strands for £24 something. Can't remember the pennies. Yeah, if you've got any questions, any techniques that you would like specifically covered, then send us a message. You can even write it on this video. And on Friday, Kitty will be frantically running around the warehouse and her study, trying to get everything ready. Dan said, you said about you're not very good head pins. Oh yeah, these are just some of my head pins that I got from a really cheap kit actually. It's not a Totally Beads one, but some of the coating actually comes off. It was a craft kit, so I don't think they're even my jewellery making head pins. But this morning I was just running around trying to get them. Victoria says, would love to see a wrapped loop. Yes, let me grab my proper head pin then. Hold on one sec. I'm going to grab one of the ball end head pins. Because I will be able to show you a wrapped loop. Give me 1 second. I guess this is a good thing with having the lives as well, is that there's so much more interaction than we can ever gain on telly, which is really nice, because then if you have any questions, we can of course answer them straight away for you. I might have to do it in gold rather than silver because I can't find. Now Kitty has put the ball end head pins on the Facebook section today because they are a little bit softer, so they're actually perfect for creating wrapped loops. I'll try and do it with this one. It's not, I don't think it's too hard for me to do. Okay, so a wrapped loop. What we're going to do is take your pin. Oh, Kitty's saying yes, the Q&A session will be on Friday. So if there's any techniques that you would like to see, then please just send us a message, send us some questions and we will answer them. It might not even be a technique, it might just be a question that you want answered. Let Kitty know and she'll do those on Friday. Of course, if you ask them in advance, then we can prep them. Okay, so turning your pin into a wrapped loop, I've left a little gap underneath. So you'll remember when we do just a normal loop, we bend to 90 degrees directly above the bead. Here with a wrapped loop, you need there to be a little bit of space because you want to be able to wrap the wire afterwards. So I have my pliers in there and I've bent to the side. So it's the width of my pliers. And then I'm going to take my pin and go up and around my plier to create the first section of my loop. And then I'm just going to rotate those around so that I can finish the bottom section. Now you'll have to bear with me because when I do wrapped loops, when I'm showing you on a tutorial, I do everything oversized. So it's so that you can see it, whereas in a moment, I'll make it a lot smaller. The gap that you want in here will only be a few millimeters because it just gives you a neater finish. So can you see now I've got my loop up on the top? This is where you would attach it to whatever you want to attach it onto. Obviously in this case, I don't need to pre-open them because my jump rings have splits in them. Whereas if you had closed rings or you had a threading material, it might be onto another charm, you would add it on at this point before you wrap, okay? But obviously with jump rings, you wouldn't need to. This is also great to do with pearls. Do wrapped loops on either end, so just cut the tip off, do wrapped loops on either end, and then they'll all be connected together and it's absolutely beautiful. In fact, I might even have one of the samples here is with wrapped loops. I'll have a little look in a second. So take your pliers and hold that loop together. You may have reattached it onto something already. I'm just going to do it loose here so you can see. And then I'm going to take my flat nose pliers and I'm going to take the additional wire, the leftover wire, and you will wrap all the way around that middle pin. Now I've probably got enough here to completely fill that gap, but it is rather long. I wouldn't ever do more than 2 or 3 wraps. But can you see that that will give me a wrapped loop? Then you're just going to take your cutters, cut it in as close to the bead as you can get, and then you can take your pliers and just pinch in and close off that extra little section there so that you get a nice neat finish. Okay, so that's the concept of it. I'll show you now in a proper size. Make sure I've got my right pins. So I would only leave a couple of millimeters. So when you're bending it, I would take it to the very tip, bend over the top. Okay, you'll see the size difference because that is going to give you a much neater loop. Wrapping up and around the top, twisting that over, bringing it around, then we'll hold it with our pliers, take my flat nose pliers, and I'm going to come around the back. So I am holding with my left hand quite tightly. With my right hand, not only am I twisting, but I'm also pulling it quite tightly. And that will give you, so you see with 2 twists, it's a lot neater. But to show you, it's just bigger to do it bigger size. Mina's asking, when will the chainmail booklet be back in stock? I'll let Kitty ask. Must have sold out after this week then on the website, which is nice. Thank you very much. I'm sure they will be able to get some more printed and get that back in stock for you soon. Okay, so adding on your charms now. I've got some of these beads already done, the pins that we have just turned. To attach them and open them up, I'm just going to lift that loop open. And I think I'm going to put these ones on my gold rings. Now you could either put them on both of them or you could put them on just one jump ring. By putting them onto both, depending on the size of your loop, you might not get that movement. If your loops are quite small, oh, Kitty says they do have some left. They're going to get Simon to pop it onto the website, so that will be back in stock today for you. Depending on the size of your loop, adding them onto 2 jump rings might make it a little bit more rigid. You want to make sure you've got some of that movement. So I think I'm going to go for, let's do berries on just one set of jump rings, and let's do leaves on the other, and that way they should hopefully all cluster together. The nice thing with doing your chainmail like this is that it also gives you two sides to your bracelet, so you can get that full dimension and charm effect in there as well. So I'm going to add on one of each colour. Let's go into here. And you'll see that that will start to give you nice little clusters of your berries. And then I'm going to add in some leaves as well. And these will go directly onto a jump ring. You could use a smaller one if you would like, or you can use the same size depending on the stock that you've got. Open it up quite far, so a lot further than I have done when I'm making my chainmail, because you want it to be able to go all the way through the leaf. All the way through, you'll see the size of the hole is just perfect there. I'm going to add that on. Whoop. I'm going to add that onto the gold jump rings as well. Oh, come on. And then we'll close that off. It's easier to open them further because you can see the leaves, they're almost like an ivy shape. So you get that little point up on top of each of them that will start to get in the way. So open them up nice and wide. And let's add a few more on. I'm going to do in different colours. So we'll add the leaves on first of all. So through that centre, so you'll see by opening it up that little bit larger, I'm then just encouraging that leaf all the way round. And I'm going to add them onto the gold. In with the pliers and just make sure that they close perfectly. Let's add a bit of colour in here as well. So I tend to come down in between those little dips in between the top of the leaves, twisting it all the way around and adding it in. So Christmassy, says Mina, yeah, the green really is, isn't it? I thought the green, I was going to do green and red, and then I thought, oh, actually, that probably is a bit too Christmassy, and we are only in July. So I thought I would use some of the other colours just to perhaps make it a little bit more spring and summer-like. Okay, so when you're using the bigger leaves, oh, look, I've actually got 3 gold jump rings on this one. I wasn't paying any attention, obviously, when I was making. I'll take one of those off. When you're using the bigger leaves, try to alternate the side that you put them on. So you'll see I've got them on the gold and I'm using it on either side, so that it will then give you that variation in the movement as well. And then you can start adding on some of your smaller ones. Now, the great thing is when you've got collections of colours like these, you can actually just lay them down and start to see how it's going to form. Diane says, do you do the necklaces like this as well? Sorry, late this morning. Yeah, Kitty's made some beautiful samples. Hold on, my chains are all caught together. Kitty has made some beautiful samples using these beads, and they all sort of hang as multi-layers as well, so you can add some beautiful dimension into them. So a bit of chain in the centre, a jump ring in the middle, and you can start splitting off into various different lengths. So it's obviously a design that she likes because most of the necklaces are like that. So you can add larger beads in between. You can hear it's got a wonderful movement on it as well. And of course you can add in, we've got some wrapped loops in here just for a bit of variety, and then of course you can start adding in your flowers as well. Somebody was just asking about the back of the leaves. I'll pick a darker one so that you can see. So the back side doesn't have the vein, but it does still have the beautiful frosted finish. The front side has the vein detail. I'm not sure, can you see it in that one? There you go. So vein detail on one side and then just flat on the reverse side. But because they are almost transparent, you can actually see that detail through there as well. So that's about it, guys, with your Lucites. Oh, Ruth, you're right. This would make an amazing handbag charm. You could have it just hanging like this, actually, because you can see that the beads, when you hang it vertically, your beads and your leaves will sit just down the side of your chain. Add a nice big one on the bottom there, add a few more beads, and then a large lobster claw clasp up at the top, and you would have a gorgeous handbag charm. Okay, guys, I think that's about it from me today. So hopefully you've managed to get your bundles as well. The bundles of the glass bead 6mm, they are on offer. Amazing value for money. As you've seen, I've only picked out just a few of the colours that we've got in there, excuse-elle. Just a few of the colours in there, but they are gorgeous selections. We've then, of course, got the two sizes of your leaves and the one size of your Lucite flower as well. Margaret says, bought some of the lovely boxes from Totally Beads and have filled 3 of them. Just hope I don't forget where I put them. Yeah, putting them in those really safe places. I always lose stuff like that as well. Pauline, hopefully I answered your question as well. Amazing to see you all. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Hopefully adding a bit of colour to your day. Curly, shush! Hopefully adding some colour into your day as well. I will be here tomorrow, again, 10 o'clock in the morning. Don't forget as well, if you have any questions or techniques that you would like us to cover, we've already got this week planned up until Friday, but Kitty is then going to be doing questions and answers. So if you've got anything that you would like to see, anything perhaps you'd like us to revisit, then pop your questions in here or email us on the Facebook page. Obviously, email us in the office. You can get hold of us in so many different ways, and we'll get hold of it, and then Kitty can actually prep some of that as well for Friday. Question, when will I get my order from C&C, please? Well, I have no idea because I'm not in the warehouse, but I was on Wednesday, which means that they would have gone out on Friday. So if you didn't get it yesterday, I'm guessing your poster will be with you tomorrow, with any luck. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me. I will see you all tomorrow here nice and early, 10 o'clock. Hopefully we'll have a bit of sun as well. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow.